In today's video, I am making these flower coasters. Let's jump right in. So if you've seen my recent video, you would have seen that I am the proud owner of a new desktop CNC, and that's how I'm going to create these coasters. It's going to start off with making my design on my CAD/CAM software, and I use Topcoat Maker for this. And if you've seen the video, my first CNC video, you would know that I spend a lot of time procrastinating about learning all of this new stuff. But can I just say, Topcoat Maker have a user-run Facebook group, and they have an excellent community to sort of answer and help me wrap my head around all of this. And it doesn't take too long, honestly, to eventually get it. So this is me. I've imported some vector files of this flower coaster, and I've selected the one I want to use because I'm not going to be using all the patterns. I'm just getting rid of the others, and this is the one I want to work with. I am going to be carving this out on MDF. And yeah, and the great thing about this is once you set your tool path, you know, you can simulate and see how your carve's going to turn out. And I quite like watching it. I really enjoy watching the simulation for some reason. But anyway, so this is it, and looks like we are all set up here, and we can go down to the CNC and get this carved out. Also, another process that I enjoy is watching this CNC working and doing its thing. And yeah, so this is me carving out the flowers, and they are looking just like how I wanted. And even though when you're new to CNC, you are going to make a few mistakes. So I have been working with MDF before I move on to some better quality wood, just because then I'm not wasting money and, you know, good material while I learn. So yeah, after some satisfying footage of the CNC doing its thing, I finally have these ready. I'm only going to use two because it's a pair of coasters that I'm making, and this is how they turned out. Really happy. Now, I did forget to add the profile cut to my file. Like I said, I am new at this, so I'm going to go around my bandsaw and cut out these flowers. Before I can get on with the epoxy, I'm going to prime this, and I'm using a spray primer here just because it makes an easy job of getting into those nooks and crannies of the coasters and the cuts in between. And I just happen to have a grey primer on the spray, so that's what I'm using. Wouldn't matter, we're going to cover all of this up anyway. Once my primer was dry, I went ahead and used some pink spray paint, a metallic one, and also I blended a metallic and a non-metallic one, just some pink spray paints that I had lying around, and covered the surface of these. And now we're finally ready for some epoxy. So I'm using some sticky back plastic to put these in place, and that just makes an easy job of pouring resin into, and hopefully we won't have any leakage. Fingers crossed. I am using my J-Diction Officials resin as always, and I'm going to link their discount codes in the description below. So I have my resin now mixed up, and I have decided to tint it pink. And once again, I'm going to do two shades of pink, a darker one, a lighter one, just to give it a little bit of a gradient. And then it was a case of just filling these bits in with some resin. Once again, another super satisfying process this was. And while I do that, can I remind you to like, comment and sub if you enjoy these videos and if you think I've earned it, and I really appreciate all of your support. So I just poured in the resin, mixing the light pink and the dark pink, and I'm just gonna spray these with some isopropyl alcohol to pop the bubbles, because I don't want to scorch my tops with a blowtorch. And I will be back once these are cured.
The next day.
So it is the next day, and we are ready to peel the backs of these. I did have a tiny amount of leakage that I can hopefully just snap off. And yeah, I can clean up those edges with a scissor because my resin is still slightly soft, or I can sand them. I'll see how I get on, but I will be back once I clean these up. Like I said, my resin was pretty soft, so I was able to just clean the sides off with a pair of scissors, and that saved me from a lot of sanding, which I was really pleased about. And now that I have the edges cleaned up, we are ready to top coat these, and I'm going to dome these So I have mixed up my resin, and I'm going to put a little bit at a time in the center and just sort of push the resin and help it along just over the edge, but just making sure that I don't go over the edge, and hopefully that'll create a nice dome and have these sealed in. And I have these kept on some acrylic hearts, and that is not for any specific reason. That's just because I wanted to put something that I could move these on, because I have another project that I want to start in this space. So that's why. The hearts don't have anything to do with these coasters. I can now leave these to cure, and I can finally show you what they look like. And this is how they turned out. I think they look pretty cool, and with some deceptive spring that we're experiencing at the moment, I quite enjoyed creating these flower coasters, you know, giving me the spring vibe, even though it's still cold and raining. But yeah, this is how these turned out. Super happy with how these are. Once again, I'm just making my way through some simple CNC projects at the moment and learning along the way. But so far, I can tell you I am loving combining epoxy resin into all of it. So let me know what you think of these in the comments, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!